time to get in the house here. And we're going to do a little thank you broadcast for those that tuned in to the broadcast with Steve the other day. And we're going to talk about power watches because we've seen a bunch of watches. So let me stop this laptop from playing so you don't get feedback. We've seen some power watches the other day. We saw some fairly powerful Grand Seikos. And we saw some powerful Omegas. And in the past, we've talked about some powerful Rolexes. So there are a lot of really good options out there. And speaking of a power watch, let's cut to camera 2 and take the side angle of that diver, that Grand Seiko diver. And I have an announcement to make today with regard to that. And there's the front shot of that silky smooth second hand going around, and it is spot on. I'm looking at, I've got my Apple Watch handy here, and it looks like it is maybe 3 seconds fast, and this is since early November when I set it from we had to adjust for daylight savings time. So it's still running about a second or so a month fast, which is ideal. I like it to be just a hair fast. I hate a watch that's slow. A watch that's slow will go. That's a rhyme for you. A watch that's slow will go. How's that? Not sure if that's an exact rhyme or not. Okay, so Brian in the house, David's here. Talked me out of a Quartz GMT Grand Seiko. Can't do that. I liked that watch. I liked that watch, and I love the 9F movement. I've got this gold stunner on my wrist right now, and I don't even have to think about whether or not it's spot-on accurate or not. It just is. And I really like that. And to tell you the truth, gentlemen, I liked that about the Apple Watch when I was wearing it. I wore this for a couple of years, and it is extremely comfortable on this link bracelet. And the new one is even trimmer than this one. They've made them thinner and a little bit bigger, but thinner. So this could be an all-around, and they're waterproof now, so this could be an all-around dress sport watch solution. I mean, I'm sorry, it could be. So we're going to talk about some things here today. That was awesome of Steve to come by. Absolutely, and definitely reach out to him and thank him directly for coming. Steve at littletreasury.com. I'll put that in the chat. Steve at littletreasury.com. I think I've got that all spelled right. Steve at little, T-R-E-A. Oh, I left an S out. That's not correct. Can I edit that? Well, let me edit it. No, I got to remove it. Somebody put Steve at littletreasury.com in there, spelled right. I can't reach around this and type easily. Okay, hi from New Hampshire, United Kingdom. What do you think of the new Omega Seamaster? I'll put his email address in there. Steve at TREASURY.com, littletreasury.com. Steve at littletreasury.com. I think I got it right that time. Okay, so the new Omega Seamaster 300M. We compared the two. I think it's awesome. I think that if you're in the market for a sub, I would really look hard at getting that Omega instead and getting a discount. It's a stunner. Will it trump this particular Grand Seiko diver? I don't think so. I just don't think so. It's not quite there. Now, you've got the ceramic bezel on it, so you've got some things that some people like. I don't really care that much whether it has a ceramic bezel or not. I've never had a problem with all the watches I've had in the past, all the Rolexes I've had with aluminum bezels or whatever they are. They've all held up fine. I get a couple scratches here and there. I mean, it doesn't bother me. Mine so far has no scratches. It's 7 months of use. So if that's a big deal to you, the ceramic, then obviously the Omega has that. And so is your glass lamp behind you is from antique French glass? The one is a reverse painted. It is an antique. The one in the foreground closest to me. The one all the way in the background, that's a reproduction. It's like a Tiffany, a reproduction. It's not antique. Craig, if I'm honest, I think Rolex makes great movements, but there's nothing fundamentally innovative with their escapements. It's like they've been using the same recipe for the past 30 years. Well, a lot of people that like mechanical watches don't want innovation. That's why they buy them. They want the old, tried and true mechanical movement. And I can respect that. But that is what they're getting, absolutely. And there's been some, with the newer movements, they've improved them. You know, they've increased the power reserve. We're going to talk about that a little bit, too. Rolex needs to up their game at Baselworth. I don't know that they need to up their game. They're selling everything. They're getting out to their ADs, and their marketing machine is as powerful as ever. So there's no threats from anybody. It's not like Grand Seiko is going to threaten them. They don't have any advertising budget at all. The only way Grand Seiko sells watches is word of mouth, folks. That's it. They do almost no advertising. If it ain't broke, that's right. If it ain't broke, absolutely. Rolex using possibly the most advanced metal alloy hairspring in the world. Okay. So here's the deal, folks. I've been giving a lot of thought about power watches. Do you think a 34 millimeter Rolex is too small for men to wear? Depends on the size of your wrist. I think they look okay. I would rather have a 36, personally, but some of the 34 mils look okay. It's also case design. There are a lot of variables that make a watch look big or small. This one's 35 mils, and it looks kind of small, but, I mean, it's a dress watch. I think they should be kind of small. So I think it depends on how you're dressed, what you're using the watch for. There are a lot of variables here that come into play, okay? This one's about 10 mils thick, so it will work even with a relatively tight French cuff. See, the problem that I have is I wear about a size 16 or 16 and a half collar. And those shirts, if you buy them off the rack, you don't have them custom made, the sleeves, the cuff, if your wrist is kind of big, like my wrist is kind of big, it's about 7 1/4 to 7 1/2, depending on how the temperature and the humidity and all those kinds of things. But for the dress, for the shirt size I have, my wrist is kind of big, if that makes any sense. So what happens is, especially with French cuffs, it's a little bit snug on me. Now, I can get this watch underneath this cuff, no problem. See, it's under there right now. But a bigger watch, not really. It doesn't work, okay? So I would have to have my shirts custom made to give me more room here, right? And then the problem is if you make them bigger, then they might not fit inside the sleeve of the jacket. So then you got to have your jacket custom made. And so you open up a can of worms. So it all depends on your use case, how you're wearing it, where you're wearing it. Now, if you're just buying it to put in a collection, to have it in a box, and to occasionally take it out and look at it, and you're not wearing it, then none of these things matter, right? So that's the deal on all that. Rolex Explorer 39 mil perfect everyday wear watch. Again, for me, in this circumstance right now, that watch would probably be too big. Probably would not go underneath this cuff. And I think it's ugly to wear a watch outside of the cuff that will not slip under. That's like just sticking there, and the cuff is like pushing against it. I just think that's not attractive. What do you all think? GS I like is 39 mils times 12. See, that's nice. See, 12 mils thick, that's about the limit. 12, 12 and a half for going under a shirt cuff is good. The day dates are usually about 12 and a half, and they'll do it. But again, it depends on the size of your wrist and the size of your cuffs. I hate it when a telemarketer calls in the middle of a live broadcast. Okay, Rolex uses great materials and designs and has perfected the traditional Swiss lever escapement. It's not entirely new design like the Georgiana coaxial or the Grand Seiko. You can't wear a boat anchor under a cuff. 36 mil is just a sweet spot. Yeah, and kind of thin, 36 mil thin, like a date just. Or just an Oyster Perpetual with no date. I think they're even thinner because they don't have the date wheel in there. An Oyster Perpetual, maybe an 18 karat gold. Okay, so let's get on to that discussion. Okay, here's the thing. This is what I'm thinking about doing. Is I'm going to offer to my viewers and my subscribers this puppy right here, this diver, which I bought new 7 months ago. We're going to offer a limited time only. We're going to offer this watch to one of my subscribers. $5,000 shipped. $5,000 shipped. And here's the thought process on this. If, and this is an if I have a taker and I sell this watch, I think I'm going to buy a 40 mil date. I think I'm going to buy a 40 millimeter date. I've had a couple of friends on Facebook that have them, that I've talked to them about how wearable the watch is on wrist. Is it too big? I had, of course, 36 mil for many years, and this is also breaking news. Breaking news. I have sold and delivered the 18238 date. It is gone because I couldn't read that very well. There wasn't enough contrast on the dial. I wasn't wearing it. I wasn't using it, and so reluctantly, I got a decent offer on it, and that is down the road, gone, delivered. So now my thought process is a date, a 40 mil date with the black dial, like I put on the thumbnail of this video, with the loomed hands. You got more contrast there. You got more readability. And I think I could wear that watch all the time, except for when I'm wearing a kind of a tight cuff like this. Then I would wear this watch. I'd keep this watch for a really trim dress watch, but then I would wear the date 40 all the rest of the time. That'd be my sport watch in effect. Now for heavy use or when I'm playing volleyball or beating something around, I'd probably just wear the Apple Watch. Okay? So, and this is a big if, like I say, this is a big if. This is only if one of my subscribers wants the diver for that price. And that's going to end up costing me a lot of money because then I'm going to have to step up and spend a lot of money. I only got about $15,000 for the 18238. So 5,000, 15 plus 5, that's 20. So I'm going to have to pony up probably another 10 grand to step into a date 840. How much are the pre-owned date 840? See, that's the problem is they haven't been out that long, and you can't get that good a buy on them used because they've only been out since I think 2015. So the lowest you're going to see them is around 25, 27,000 in that price range used, and that's the lowest. Usually if they've got box and papers and stuff, you're looking at more like 28. Let's take a look at Chrono 24. Yeah, I see in the chat at least 25,000. That's right, absolutely. Let's take a look at Chrono 24 and see what they've got right now. I think they've got one with a black dial. Date 840. Let's see what we can find. Yeah. I'll switch to the screen and show you once I find something. Well, I'll show you all of them that I'm looking at here. Okay. And I absolutely want the loomed hands. And I don't really want rose gold. I swear they had one with a black dial. Where the heck is it? Here's one. 29. This is the watch. So this is the watch I want. And the people that I've talked to that have them, and a couple of them, those people also had 36 mils at one point, have told me that it's not too big on the wrist, that it's not really an issue. So, what do you people think about that? What do you people think about that? Okay, usually at least 25K. Okay, thank you. Damn, I'm not ready to pull the trigger. That's Ray. Not ready to pull the trigger on what, Ray? Gold is yellow, not other color. Yeah, I agree. I think yellow gold's the way to go. So we're talking about power watches here. And this is my thought process on this. I think a power watch has to be yellow 18 karat gold. I don't think it can be, I don't think a steel watch can be a power watch. I know this is going to be controversial, but I don't think any steel watch, I don't care if it's a Daytona, I don't care what the hell it is, if it's steel, I don't think it can be a power watch. I think Day-Date 40 and the Gold Stunner would be a baller combination. There you go, Brian. Brian in the house. I think 40 would be too big. See, that's what I thought initially, but I've talked to a number of people with similar size wrists to me, and they say it works fine. Oh, not ready to pull the trigger on the diver. Let's take a look at the diver one more time. There's the side view. There's the top view. Look at that puppy just smoothing along, just smoothing along. And I'll tell you one thing, this is probably one of the most accurate spring drive Grand Seikos out there. I mean, it is just ridiculously accurate. And if nobody takes me up on the offer, 5,000 shipped, then I'm going to save a lot of money because I'm not going to buy the Day-Date. I'm only buying the Day-Date if I move that one, because I don't need both. I sure as hell don't need both. And you're talking about platinum. No, I would not go for a platinum. No, I don't think that's a power watch because nobody knows it's platinum. You know, 18 karat yellow gold really makes a statement. I know Archie personally doesn't like Rolex Everose gold. He finds it too. Yeah, I want it to match anything else I have in gold, like my money clip, you know, my pen, and you know, I want it to match gold cufflinks, you know. And then if you get rose gold, you got to get all that stuff in rose gold. Platinum Big Pilot Reference 5002. Wow, Day-Date 40 looks fantastic, especially in yellow gold. Personal preference, I know, but I prefer your diver over the Day-Date any day. I love the diver, and I'm, like I say, I won't be heartbroken if nobody takes me up on the offer because it's going to save me money. It's a hell of a watch, but it's not a power watch. We're talking about power watches here. Day-Date 40 or 36 millimeter is a winner chicken dinner. I can't part with my 118238. I thought about it. No way. Well, there you go. Wear it and enjoy it. I'm 6'5" and go about 300, and I don't think I want a 40. 38 or 39 would be perfect. Interesting. It's a lot of dial. Bigger watch with a bezel really brings the size down. Well, here's the thing. Again, I have problems reading without my reading glasses, and so the bigger size and the black dial and all that is kind of like to help with the legibility when I don't have my reading glasses handy. See, I can read the diver's watch anytime. I can just look at it and read it, no problem, because of all the contrast of the big hands and the black. See, the nice thing about this diver is the dial is like a flat black. It's not even a glossy black. And so it really gives you tremendous contrast between those hands with that huge amount of lume on them and the dial. It is just so readable. And let's cut back to the date. And now I don't think this is going to be as readable as the diver's watch. Obviously, the hands aren't as big and so forth. There's not as much lume on them and so forth. But I think it's going to be a lot more legible than my previous date, which had the silver dial and just didn't have that much contrast and was a smaller watch. So I think from a readability standpoint, this would be my best choice in a date. Of all the ones they make, I think that would be the most legible. Let's see here. The two best power watches, in my opinion, is the 18-karat gold date with the yellow President bracelet and the 18-karat Rolex Submariner with the yellow gold. Absolutely. Either one of those. Either one of those. I think the date is a little bit better for an all-arounder, for dress purposes and sport and everything. The Submariner's a little bit too sporty for a lot of dress situations and a little bit bulkier, depending on the date you buy, of course, if you buy the 36 mil date. The date is far nicer watch. The diver is not a solid gold President. Well, there you go. Not a power watch. It's a tool watch. It's a utility watch. It's not a power watch. Although I would go 36. The whole point about buying a gold watch as a power move is so people know it's gold. If they think your white, gold, or platinum watch is still... Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. Here's the thing. Even, and I've said this before, even people that don't know what the watch is can tell it's 18-karat gold. Like this watch here. When people see it, they know there's something about it. There's something about that gold. And I'm sorry, a plated watch doesn't look the same. It just doesn't look the same. And especially once the gold watch gets some patina, some little dings and little scratches, you can tell it's real gold. It's the real deal, right? And people know instinctively, they know that. They know what that is, right? Whether it be a Rolex, an Omega, or whatever it is, if it's a solid gold watch, they can kind of tell. And I think if it has a nice, elegant case like this one has with the nice lugs and, you know, I think it's a power watch. I think that's the definition of a power watch. You can get them for far less. You can get what for far less? Is a power watch a watch that has to be in precious metal? I think it has to be in 18-karat yellow gold. Like, for the reasons we just discussed. Do you like knives? I've got a bunch of knife reviews here on my channel, and I carry a Chris Reeves Sebenza with me at all times. I showed it in the yesterday's show. Not yesterday, day before yesterday's show. I've got a detailed review on the Chris Reeves Sebenza here on my channel. A couple of videos of it. All yellow gold reminds me of Mr. T. Yeah, but he's tacky. He wore too much. He went too far with it. You got to go just the right amount. What about a mix of gold and stainless steel like the Omega Seamaster? Well, the steel and gold watches have always been, in my opinion, a compromise watch. It's been the watch that people buy. Like if they buy a steel and gold Datejust, it's the watch they buy because they couldn't afford all gold. Or they couldn't afford a date, right? So they buy the steel and gold. That's the only justification, in my opinion, for buying the steel and gold. Otherwise, just go all gold. I've always thought the Day-Date 40 was quite large. It's a real statement piece. Yeah, I think it is a statement piece. I have to admit, I've not tried one on. I'm going to try one on. And then I'll make my final decision about whether or not I go 40 or 36 mil. Absolutely, I could go 36 mil. Especially if the rumors are true that this year they're going to roll out a 36 mil with the ceramic sleeves and the newer movement. That would be cool. 18 karat gold Seamaster. Absolutely. Yes, True Liberty. 41 Day-Date. No, the Day-Date 41 was bad proportions. It was ugly. I would not go that direction. Most people could give a rat's whatever what you're wearing. Okay, I'll go ahead and show that. No, but they know gold when they see it. Trust me, they know gold when now it might send the wrong signal that you don't want. It might make them think you're a jerk, right? I'm just saying it's going to make a statement. I'm not saying how that statement's going to be received. That's a different question. Two-tone watches are disgusting. Well, I wouldn't call them disgusting. But they're not. They're not at the power watch status, I don't think. Sorry, folks. Rolex Oyster Steel doesn't count as precious metal no matter how much unobtainium they add to it. Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's not a power watch. Craig, all stainless steel watches are common no matter what anyone thinks. However, solid 18-karat gold stunners will explode people's heads. They can't handle the prestige. White gold is fine on Pateks. No, don't listen to these watch people that say, you know, understated and all this and go with the white gold. No. They don't know what they're talking about. Look at this watch. See, I can have it just partially just sticking out of the cuff just a little bit. Just give them a little flash of a little bit of 18-karat gold, and that gets the job done. If I want to, you know, blow them away, I can give them a bigger shot, right? And that, you know, that makes a statement. All right? Patek and gold equals power watch. Right. And here's the thing. A lot of people would mistake this for a Patek because of the shape of the case and everything. This looks very much like some of the older Calatravas. The whole point about wearing white gold is you don't want others to know it's gold. In which case, just wear a steel watch. Wear this. There you go. No need to pay for the gold. Just wear a steel stunner. A steel stunner. See, a steel stunner is a steel stunner, or in this case, it's a titanium stunner. That's a titanium stunner. It's just not a power watch. With solid gold being cheaper than some stainless steel pieces, this is the way to go. Hell yeah. If I see a person wearing steel and gold, I'll walk up to them and call them a peasant for you, Craig. No, I mean, I'm not saying don't buy the steel and gold or that it's not any good or whatever. I'm just saying it's not a power watch. It's not a power watch. It's a compromise watch. And for power purposes, you don't compromise. That's the whole definition of a power watch, is you didn't compromise. It's just like if you buy a camel hair sport coat, you got one that was 100% camel hair. You didn't get one that was a blend, right? You went 100%. That's all I'm saying. The watch is a blend if it's steel and gold. We don't buy stuff that's a blend. We buy either all cashmere, all camel hair, you know, all wool, whatever. It's 100%. It's the whole deal. Patek watches are so overpriced. You can get a whole lot better watch for a lot less. Man, case in point. Look at this watch here. Stone cold accurate, bulletproof 9F movement that'll last for generations. $3,200. Or did I pay 33? I paid somewhere between 32 and 3,300. I don't remember. But there's one right now for sale for like 3,800 or offer on eBay. Gold Brigade. There you go. Let's see if I can pull that up. See if I can pull that up. Craig needs a solid gold Rolex. Oh, no ugly watches, folks. No ugly watches. Let's not buy ugly watches. There's plenty of watches out there that are attractive. We don't need to buy ugly watches. Just thought a gold and steel had a classier look to it. No. All gold. There's a white gold Pepsi in my local AD. It looks exactly like the stainless steel, except for the $26K price tag. He's got one in stock. Can't sell it. Interesting. Get a Tudor in solid gold. Oh, man, that would be a mistake. People think you can pawn a steel Rolex off to get a plane ticket home, but when industrialized society breaks down, you can always sell a solid gold Rolex for its precious metal value. Yeah, but there's not that much gold in it, unfortunately. So, yeah. There's that. Okay, so let's see that other watch. It's only about 3 ounces of gold. So you're going to get, $4 or $5 grand or something for the gold. That's still not nothing. Okay, here we go. Stand by for stunner alert. We're going to look at this alleged stunner. See that? Whoops. That's kind of... I don't like the way the lugs are, the way they just stick out from the case. There's no taper there. They're not integral. No, I don't know why it keeps popping around like that. It's just 'cause I got my mouse there, but no. I mean, this is a kind of watch that some watch geeks would like and have in their collection or something, but I wouldn't wear that watch. For the same price, are you kidding me? I'd have a date 8 on a President bracelet. I mean, it's not even a close call. For the same money or less, you could have a date 8 on your wrist, folks. Come on, people. Use a little bit of common sense here. I wonder which creates bigger profit margin for Rolex. They're still watches or they're gold watches? Well, the golds have more AD. The AD makes more money. There's a bigger spread for the AD. I know that because you can get a bigger discount on them. Even back in the day when you could get discounts on everything. I don't like the dial. It looks ugly. Well, there you go. So, yeah, I mean, you can buy an older Omega that's gold and get a decent price. But a lot of them, I don't like the case designs on them. Restaurant Constantin. All right, I'm going to look at this one, but please, folks, if you're going to ask me to bring up a watch, please don't have it be an ugly watch, okay? Because you're just wasting all of our time. And we don't like to look at ugly watches because we don't want to buy ugly watches. So let's see what we got here. Govberg Jewelers has one for sale. Let's see what we got. Okay, now here's the deal with this Vacheron. You see how squared off it is where the lug meets the case? See how that's just a harsh... I don't need that. I can pass on that. Now, I grant you this is a reasonable price, $59.50 if it's 18 karat gold. Let's see what the clasp is like. I guess that's a gold clasp. See the side view? See how those lugs are? And how the case is so sharp and angular? They've got to have some models with a better case shape than that. Oh, and it's 32.5 mils. You talk about small. That one is small. See, that's why it's so reasonable. It's too small, and it has a case design that is marginal at best, ugly at worst. So, yeah, we'll pass on that Vacheron. Do I need to show you a case that has a good shape to it. Okay, let's go. Let's look at it. Let's look at a Patek Philippe. Patek. Oh boy, how come I can't see this here? Okay, I'm going to find one that's gorgeous, gorgeous, that you guys can use as an example. I hope I'm going to find one. Da, 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 da. Man, they got a lot of ugly Pateks for sale too on Chrono 24. I think a lot of people are starting to dump ugly watches. I think that's what's happening. I think some people, let me cut to this so you can see what I'm looking at. I think some people have decided to get rid of the ugly watches. See the lugs, how these lugs just kind of are bulbous and kind of like, see how that's not really attractive? Oh, for crying out loud. Come on, folks. Show me one just one with a good-looking case on it. I mean, look at these watches. You talk about ugly. Look at this one here, that thing. And the one next to it. I mean, would you really be caught dead wearing that stuff? Now, sure, some of those are women's watches, but still, I mean, would you really be caught dead wearing something like that? A lot of these watches are just straight up unattractive. I mean, look at that watch there. Tiffany and Company. Are you kidding me? They actually sold that thing at one point. Man, somebody hit this website with an ugly stick. All right, let's go to my, what happened here? Why did we all of a sudden end up with a whole bunch of ugly watches? Let me do a Patek Philippe. All right, just a straight up Patek search. Okay, no filters on it. All right. We're getting closer. Calatrava. Well, is this just the 1865, or does this have all the Calatravas if I click on this? Okay, now we're getting better off here. Now we're getting some attractive watches. Trying to find one that I would wear, that I would buy and wear. I mean, this is nice. It's a lot of money. But see the shape of the case? It's a nice flowing shape to the case. Side view is nice. I'm sure it's nice and trim. Probably about 10 mils. Anyway, that sort of thing. All right, this took too much time. I shouldn't take this much time to find an attractive watch. I think a lot of people are dumping ugly watches now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the 5196, yeah. I wouldn't even bother with any other watch. Buy yellow gold date 8 with a post 2004 President bracelet in either 36 or 40. There you go. Patek 5196. I wonder if the Rolex stainless steel shortage is their attempt to push solid gold so the peasants can't afford them, keeping Rolex exclusive. I think they're just regulating supply so they keep the hype going and so that people are willing to pay full list price. I mean, it's not stupid for them to be doing that. I don't blame them. If people are willing to pay, if I walked past one of those and it was on the floor, I'd keep walking. I don't know which one he's talking about. But yeah, those were some ugly watches. The message is held for review, watch box. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show that. Nothing comes close to solid gold day date. The gold base at Calatrava is back on sale for 27 grand. There you go. There you go. So they can't move that puppy. It's too much money. I think the market's starting to get soft, folks. They're no classier than the Seiko you're wearing. You know what, those ugly watches? Yeah, those ugly watches are a problem. This Grand Seiko is freaking gorgeous, man. It is stunning. I mean, that's why I bought it. I didn't buy it just for fun. I bought it because it's stunning. The dial on this thing and the hands and the indices, I mean, everything is just absolutely... You guys have seen close-ups of this watch. It's absolutely stunning. What's your Grail watch? We're talking about that. We're talking about the ultimate power watch. We're talking about, is it a Day-Date 40 with the black dial? Or is it Day-Date 36? Or do I stick with what I have now? Pretty good rolling combination I got right now. I got this diver, this stunner. By the way, I put it on a separate table so we don't have the shake anymore. If this table shakes, it doesn't matter. That's on a separate table. And I got two cameras trained at it. The side view so you guys can see the shape of those lugs. See how nice those lugs are compared to a sub maxi case? You see the difference, folks? I know the lighting's not perfect on that, but you can see how that tapers down and curves down, how it would hug around the wrist. It's not rocket science to design a watch with a decent case. I mean, come on, what's wrong with these people? Why can't they design a watch with a decent case? Is it difficult? Are the DC bureaucrats not able to keep up their Submariner payments now? That could be a problem for them. Here's the thing, man. Like my grandmother always said, have a rainy day fund. Have a rainy day fund. Dave Ramsey says have 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside for a rainy day. If those people didn't do that, it's their own fault. Do you work for Seiko? I wish they would pay me. Please. Please send Seiko or Grand Seiko or whoever you want, send them an email and say they should pay Craig. They should give me money. Money, 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 so that I can buy a Day-Date 40. Oh, no, don't tell them that. Tell them so that I might buy another gold Grand Seiko. I need money. Is what I need. All right. I don't know if we solved the world's problems or not here, but what do you guys think? Did Clive sell all his watches? Clive was going to come on the stream here, and then something came up, and actually he was thinking about driving to Dallas or something to pick up another watch, but I think that deal fell through. So I don't know how many of the watches he's sold yet. He did consign some, I think, to a local AD. Craig, in all honesty, well, yeah, why not be honest, folks? In all honesty, GS is a better watch and more accurate than just about anything out there. Well, yeah, duh. I'm sorry, Scott, but you're stating the obvious. Grand Seikos are amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And this one in particular is a stunner. How does that look on wrist, folks? Somebody's going to say, well, it looks too small. Yeah, it looks like It looks like a little boy's watch, or it looks like a girl's watch. I think it looks absolutely stunning. I think if you don't find a buyer, then wait until prices sag more and get a day date later. Oh, absolutely. I'm not buying anything unless I sell the diver, because the only reason I would do it is to get a different daily wear watch to wear, most of the time. See, I don't wear this watch most of the time. I wear this watch when I'm wearing like French cuffs, or when I, in situations where I feel I need the trimmer dress watch, right? All other times I'm wearing the diver, okay? So the only reason that I would get the date 840, for example, is if I was replacing the diver in the rotation. That would be the only reason that I would do it. Because it doesn't really replace this watch, because it's not trim enough to replace this watch. It's not small and trim enough, if that makes any sense. I don't think the date 840, for example, would go under this cuff I have right now without like stuffing it under. It would be too tight. But see, this is a particular problem that I have because my wrists are a little bit oversized for the size shirt that I wear. I've got like Popeye arms, and that's from like, I do a lot of exercises so that just in case I need to strangle somebody, I can do it. Most people don't realize how good they are. Finally, some other watch channels are talking about GS now. Well, they've probably taken a closer look at them. They might even have heard about them through this channel. If GS comes out with a 36 to 38 mil snowflake, like spring drive dress watch with an adjustable clasp, then I'd buy it over a Datejust 40. I hear you. Absolutely, with micro adjustments. They're not going to do all that, though, I don't think. They don't listen to us. Craig, what do you think about a Seiko SARX 055 for people that can't afford $1K for a dress watch? I think if it's the one I'm thinking about, I think it's a good choice. Let me take a look. Let me take a look, and I'll answer these other questions here in a second. All right, so yeah, I mean that's a stunning watch. I mean we've looked at that watch before on the channel. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if I was going to buy something in that price range, I would buy that or the diver, the SBDC 007 is the titanium diver. That's fantastic too, and that you can get for about $800. Yeah, I've had the diver for about 7 months now. Just buy the other watch. Seiko looks like it'd be a sporty watch. Not sure what you mean, who you're talking to there. Happy Friday. Okay, Craig, if you want a power move sport watch, then why not go for a pre-ceramic last generation yellow gold sub? That would be a possibility, but I like the date 8 with the President bracelet. I think it's a classier looking watch, and with the 40 mil one with the ceramic sleeves, it's going to hold up real well, and the dial would actually be larger on that watch because the bezel takes up some of the 40 mil. They're both 40 mil, right? And the sub, because the bezel, you'd have a smaller dial than on the date 840. And so the date 840 would actually have a larger dial, which might be easier to read in some ways than the sub. But the sub has, bigger hands, so that might be a wash. But I just think the date 840 is a classier looking watch all the way around. And it's just as rugged. It would hold up great. I mean, talk about a great beater watch, man. I mean, you wouldn't be able to hurt that puppy. Talk about a heavy-duty watch with those ceramic sleeves and everything in the bracelet. I notice these live streams get a good amount of views after it's uploaded. So could be. So could be what? Clive will join in 5 minutes. Oh, maybe he just sent me a text. Let me see. Oh, okay. He says he's free. Okay, so I'm going to send him a shoot. I'm going to send him a invite. Give me a second here, and then I'll catch back up with you folks. Got to create a window here for him. Create a window for Clive for the Clivester. And we're calling the Clivester. You're probably hearing the ringing and all that stuff, so just bear with me, folks. I know this is a situation here. Okay, now I got to email him the link. And don't worry about the ringing and all that, because that'll stop. Show link. Okay, I'm emailing him the link now. And let's see. Let me get I got to get my headset on so that I can monitor when he comes in. Give me a second. This is what live TV is all about. This is the problem with live TV. Get this splitter out of the way. All right. Plug this in. He should be coming in. He said he was free. Let me text him the link also. Let's see if I can do this. Why is this not working? Oh, shoot. What did I just do? Holy cow. I just killed the whole thing. Did I? The heck did I just do? Oh, there we go. I don't know why he's not coming in, folks. Let me text him. He said he was free. Let's see what he says on the text. Meanwhile, I'll go ahead and put this headset on. We're going to assume that he's going to come in. Okay. Let me go back to the chat so I can keep an eye on you guys. And I'll let you know if he texts or anything. Okay. Clive will join in 5 minutes. Turn this volume down on this. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing. Okay. There's a YouTuber based in England who has a Kermit and a Batman he keeps in the safe. Yeah, I know who he is. He is now worried he will have to sell them to pay for his family's movie expense. Yeah, I mean, you talk about somebody who should not be buying expensive watches. When you're that broke, you should not be buying expensive watches. Expensive watches are something you buy when you're financially secure, not when you're broke. Of course, he dismissed Spring Drive as being quartz watches. Well, I mean, if you don't like quartz watches, I mean, that's your prerogative. What are your insights? And, you know, he probably has no clue about how the Spring Drive works and how robust it is and the design of it. He probably hasn't researched it. And I kind of dismissed the 9F quartz before I really researched it and really learned about how robust it is and how it's designed to last a really long time. I kind of came around to thinking that it's kind of cool. What are your insights about Omega from the last podcast you did? Do you think they catch up with Rolex? In some ways, yes. Some of those watches I would definitely consider before I would buy a Rolex, especially given the price points and the discount you can get compared to paying like full price for a Rolex. Let's see here. Everything just jumped again. Clive is in the chat. Tell Clive to come in here. I sent him the link. Why is he not coming in?
I'm right here, dude.
Oh, okay. All right. I just didn't. I'm looking at the chat.
I've been here like 5 minutes.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. I'm not looking at the Hangout window. And you didn't say anything, so I had no way of knowing you were in there.
Well, you're reading live stream comments, so I figured you'll eventually stop and look over and say, hey.
Okay. All right. So let me cut to you. Bring us up to date on your sale. People have been asking about your sale.
Well, let's see. A lot of my collection is now off on sale and consignment.
Okay.
Now, I'm also starting to go into some of my non-premier but vintage pieces. Like, for instance, Dan Barcelona bought the phony Flieger. Patrick Chip bought the Omega Seamaster 120 60s.
Okay.
And also the Zodiac, the 70s Zodiac Seawolf with a Bakelite bezel.
Okay. So that's been sold too?
Yep, that's been sold. I need to ship those off. It's been kind of a wet, crappy day here. I thought I was going to actually, so raising money, and my Panerai Zero, my Pam Zero just sold. I've been notified.
Okay. So you received the cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other ones are still working on. This guy basically said, don't quick sale. Get a good price. Get the best price possible.
Yeah, but you're giving good deals on all these watches, it seems.
Not the ones on consignment.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he's got to make his margin and all that. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I want to make my margin.
Absolutely.
I thought I was going to go and get a vintage Steve McQueen Explorer, but it's not panning out. The guy's not. I'm trying to talk authentication, and the guy all of a sudden hit the commo line went down. He quit responding. So it's like,
Okay, that's a bad sign. All right, well, let me catch up on the comments real quick, and then I'll bring you up to date on what we've talked about, and we'll get your comments. Let's see, Squale, or whatever that, Squale, is about the same as a Steinhardt.
Squale.
Watches are entry level, but bracelets are garbage. Okay. Jacob and Company and RM are better. Puck off watches. Shows you're so rich you don't care about class or taste. Yeah, right. That makes sense. There you go. I'd love to see Donald Talk GS with Craig, whoever that is. Is that the guy that said that like the spring drive's no good?
Yeah. Well, that's Don G. Lloyd, aka the Dongoloid.
Okay. Richard Milley watches are absolutely hideous. Okay, come on, Chip, pull your finger out. Okay, that was probably when I couldn't find you. Somebody says a 4-letter word, JC and RM at the price point. Let's keep language. Come on, guys. Let's use some slang or whatever, but not the real vulgar stuff. Okay. No, still live. No, I think we are still live. Craig, no bullship, and Clive Esther. Best watch channels on YouTube. Well, there you go. Clive better not be pulling a bear on us, whatever that means. RM, rich people, G-Shock. Need to talk GS and gold rollers. Power watches, Richard Milley, Jacob and Company. No. We're going to talk about power watches again here in a moment. Richard Milley says Nouveau Riche. Yeah, that makes sense. Wonder what Jeff Bezos wears. Yeah, well, he's got no class, so we don't care. Check out the Citizen chronometer. They do the same finish as Grand Seiko, which is beautiful, accurate to 5 seconds a year, which is fantastic. I don't think they're going to have the case finishing that Grand Seiko has, though. I seriously doubt you're going to see that kind of quality there. Poor people need watches too. Yeah, but they got to prioritize. You got to eat and pay the electricity before you buy watches.
The thing is, though, really, when I start getting in my vintage, I've actually got a lot. I'm going to be selling really nice vintage Swiss chronographs, oversized, 36, 37, 38 millimeters, manual wind, either couple of Valjoux, a couple of Venus movements, and a bunch of Landerons. You can get those I'll be selling those for as low as $500.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. There's a lot of options out there for affordable watches. Don't compare a Citizen to a GS. Well, you can compare them. We're just going to think he's kind of silly. That Spanish fling of his must be porn star-like in bed. Are they talking about your woman, Clive? That or he is gay, whatever. He's talking about the rich guy, Bezos. Well, who knows? The guy's got no class, so who cares? If she looks good... If she looks good now, imagine what she looks like 20 years ago when they got married. Well, there you go. Turkey Vulture Clives. And this is the other thing I can't figure out, is why people would care about any of these celebrities or notable people or whatever you might want to call them. I mean, I got too many things going on in my life that I have any time to worry about what they're doing. I mean, I don't know who got thrown off the island. I don't have any time to keep up with this stuff, but I guess these people have a lot of time on their hands. But anyway, Pam is probably good to sell on consignment because people are more willing to put money down on one from a dealer rather than an individual. Well, hopefully you're right. Hopefully Clive can move these pieces. Clive, what Cartier watches do you have for sale?
Well, no, Vince, I think, actually, I've got like now this might be sold already, but I'm behind in my emails because of my JARB.
Okay.
But this is a gold case Cartier tank from the 50s. It's not a Musty Cartier because the Musty Cartier was the 70s. This was 20 years old before that line was introduced. I've also got a Cartier 35 millimeter Cartier Pasha C, automatic movement with a date.
Okay. So here's a couple more questions. Craig, what's the most you're going to spend on a Date 840? I might even buy one new from the AD. I haven't decided yet. Pulling a bear is...
Okay. I was at the AD actually literally the other day, and I asked about the new 6-digit... the 36 millimeter.
Yep.
The watch manager basically said that the new 36s also have ceramic pins.
But I think she's lying. Do you believe her? I haven't seen anything from Rolex saying that.
Yeah, we might have to ask, I think.
And they talk about it, with regard to the date 840. They specifically talk about it. So
they're surprisingly silent when it comes to the date 36.
That's right.
Yeah, but you know, when we went on Crown and Caliber and looked and saw that 6-digit reference for like was it 12 or 13? Well, that's not bad.
Oh yeah, well the 6-digit ones you can buy reasonably. Yeah, it's the date 840s that are a problem because they've only been out, so long. So that's the problem. They haven't had enough time to take a dive.
No, I was actually talking to my used guys, or the resellers, and they said if you're interested in the date, move fast. The price of gold going up is raising the prices on them.
Is that somebody who wants to sell you one saying that?
Well, it's a watch seller, so obviously the answer is yes.
Yeah, I don't think I'd buy that.
But he wasn't trying to sell me one at the time. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Now you can't see the stream right now, right?
I can pull it up on the other channel.
If I show something like you don't see what I'm showing, but I made an announcement. I've got the spring drive watch on the screen right now. and the diver.
Oh, here's one.
And
David SW, date 840, black stick dial, 28,975.
Yeah, well, for probably about 30, you could buy one brand new. Once you get the discount.
Damn, though, I love the black. I love the black dial.
Well, that's the one I want. What the hell do you think I want?
I don't know.
That's what we were talking about earlier. We showed that watch. They've got one on Chrono 24.
David SW, though, good dealer. Good. I mean, I've heard nothing but good about him. Damn, that thing looks gorgeous.
It's stunning. You're talking about with the loomed hands, the black dial. Oh yeah, that dial is stunning. And by the way, I've talked to a couple of Facebook friends of mine that have them, date 840s, and they said it's absolutely not too big. It absolutely wears great on the wrist.
Well, Hisham's, like you said, he's a little bitty guy, and hell, he's he can wear one, he could pull one off, so the rest of you should have no problems with it.
Absolutely. So anyway, I'm showing the I'm showing the spring drive diver right now, so you don't have to look, but I'm showing that on the screen. And I announced that to my subscribers, I will sell the watch shipped for $5,000. And if somebody buys it, that's a big if. If somebody buys it, I'm going to take that $5,000 and put it with the money I announced earlier that I have delivered the 18238 date 8. It is gone, paid for. And so I've got cash money from that. If I sell this for $5,000, I'll have to put about another $10,000 with the money. And that's date 840 money. So, but that's the only way I'll do it is if I move this one and put that with the 18238 money and go date 840 with the black dial. So that's the thought process there, because this whole topic of this broadcast
Craig,
is
I was
power.
looking at David SW's page, and I could save $9,000 if I got a steel Daytona.
Let me see the, can you screen share the one that you're talking about? The date 840?
Yeah, hold on. That's just, when you think about it, it's almost, let me get to it. Oh, wow. I mean, yeah.
You're just at that, you're at that station in life where you need a power watch. This is what the topic of this broadcast is, power watches. We've been talking about power watches the whole time. And I made the statement that a steel Rolex, I don't care what it is, Daytona, sub, I don't care what it is, a steel Rolex is not a power watch.
Can you see this?
Yes, I can. Can you go full screen or give us a better shot at it? Because I don't see the texture on the dial as much.
I'm let me see what I can do. Hold on.
I'm going to bring up, while you're doing that, I'm going to bring back up the one on Chrono 24. So I'll be able to show that one to get a comparison.
Now I'm on my computer, I'm blown all the way up on the watch.
Yeah, give me a second. And I'll cut to you, and then I'm gonna cut to this watch also, so that you can see it.
So I'm looking at this one. This one's 29,000, new, state of the art, date, and then literally, if you go to look for a ceramic Daytona in steel, it's $9,000 less than this one is.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So let me find the other shot so I can show you what that dial actually looks like. If it's the same dial I'm thinking about. And give me a second here, and hopefully I will find the daggone thing. Oh, here it is. Okay. I should have just kept it up. That's what she said. Okay.
Well, it's...
All right. You're going to have to... Oh, I'll put it in the chat so that you can bring it up on your end. Give me a second. I'm going to put it in the Hangout window chat. Okay. So open up the... Oh, how come I can't get to the chat? Oh, here it is. Send a message to anyone on the call. Okay, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, that's the Chrono 24. That's the... See the dial, the texture to that dial?
Okay, I see that now. It's guilloche, or a nice texture.
Is that what the one you're looking at is, or is it just flat black?
Flat black.
Well, see, this is the one I like. So we won't be competing against each other. If you buy the flat black and I buy this one.
There we go. Let's see if we can blow this up a little bit more. Can you see that now? Yeah, well, I see what you mean.
Well, I'm seeing the one with the texture.
Yeah.
The one I want.
That's the one you just sent me and told me to pull up?
Yep.
Good, yes.
Now, what do you think? Do you like that one better than the one you're looking at?
No, I like this one better.
You like the texture?
Yeah.
I agree. Are you sure that the one you have doesn't have it and it just doesn't show up in their pictures?
Yeah, well, the one I was showing was David SW. This is LaBelle Jewelry.
Yeah, but the Davis SW one, are you sure that it might be just the pictures are not showing the texture? It might be there, but you just can't.
It did not. Well, okay, but I could not see any texture in the dials.
You saw it in person? Did you see it in person?
No, it's David SW. Is it? Yeah.
Okay, so that's my point. His pictures might suck. They might not be showing it.
Got it.
So there's that.
In 1 second, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 2 seconds.
So anyway, we've got a consensus almost here. Let me go back to the comments. Let's see here. Ryan has a comment in here. David SW also accepts cryptocurrencies. I should check and see if that one has the right dial. Maybe I'll send him some Bitcoin. Do you regret selling your old date chip? No, I wasn't wearing it. I can't read the dial that well because of the no contrast. So it had to go down the road. How much for the 35 millimeter Cartier, Clive? I think you already answered that.
$900.
How much?
900.
900. Great live stream with Steve on Wednesday. Craig, some lovely watches to be seen. Yes. And please let him know that you want to see him more. Put some more comments in there because he's thinking about getting his own studio going. Yeah, show with Steve was great. Hey, now you know how I felt before, Clive, when they were always asking me when you were going to be on.
Yeah.
And now you know how I felt because now they're all asking about Steve.
Okay.
So there you go. What goes around comes around. Which was your favorite? Thomas asked, which was your favorite watch? Are you talking about of the Omegas? Probably the new Seamaster. But I wouldn't be a player for any of them. I don't think any of them trump my diver.
Craig, you're always a player.
All right, there we go. The Platinum GS, yeah, that thing was pretty awesome. But again, I wouldn't pay the money for a platinum watch when everybody's going to think it's stainless steel, for gosh sakes. Let's see here. I really thought those with wave dial Omegas look pretty cool. They look great in person too. You really got to see them in person. They look good. My favorite Omega was a Railmaster. They looked pretty good too. Honeycomb.
96-hour Rolex and Omega sale on Crown and Caliber. You want to look?
Okay, yeah, and they're saying that's a honeycomb dial on the Date 840, I guess. So Clive is getting a Date 8.
They say though, honeycomb is big. Yeah. It's not small. No.
So Clive is getting a Date 840. Ryan asked.
And if you left at that joke, you're definitely over 40.
What has he sold so far? We don't know yet. Craig, when are you buying a Richard Mille? I'm not. The one with the vintage-looking dial. Are you talking about the Railmaster? Thomas, like the Railmaster.
Oh, here we go. It's a Zenith Daytona for only $19,230.
Yeah. There's some people that are going to really get stuck with those watches.
An Omega 861 for it was $8,000. No, it's well, they reduced it from $26,000 to $19,000.
Well, there you go. You're getting a deal.
Yeah,
okay, so ACMBC, the David SW DD40 is a black motif dial, whatever that means. Craig, how much did you pay for the GS? Are you talking about the diver watch? I paid a little over $5,000 for it. I'm not going to tell you the exact number, but a little over $5,000.
What?
Craig,
Rolex Daytona for $13,700? What?
It's on sale. I wouldn't pay that for it. Craig, when will you be on the Archie show? Who knows? He hasn't invited me. Clivers, are you making the rounds? I guess he always makes the rounds. He gets around. He's a getting around guy. Craig, I bought a GS based on your advice. Now you're bailing, man. I haven't sold it yet. Nobody's bought it. I went on Archie's show earlier, and he was so depressing I had to leave. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
like to see
that's sorry. He's basically like 30 minutes. I received it. I kind of thought it was you, so I clicked on, and yeah, he's really low.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Here's a Kermit for $12,500.
Like to see Craig's reaction when Archie starts swearing at him. Well, I mean, if I'm on his channel and he wants to swear on his channel, he can. He just won't do it on this channel. He won't come on this channel anyway. L. David told you he has 2 more to go. Yes. Roman Sheriff is saying. Here's the thing, okay? We're talking about the whole subject of this particular broadcast is power watches. And my point is, if, and I said it's a big if one of my subscribers wants the spring drive diver, I'm going to let it go for about what I have in it, just like I say, a hair over $5,000, and I'm going to let it go for $5,000 shipped, which is a good price. You can't buy them for that anywhere. And so there's a couple of them on eBay, but they're all more than that. And so, and if I do that, I'll take that and put it with the money from the 18238 Date 8 and put about another 10 grand with that, and I'll get the Date 840. Okay? So that's a what's called a power move. Okay? That's a power watch we're talking about. And so, you know, if you want to get a power watch, you got to make a power move. Right, Clive?
Right.
So there you go. And Clive is making some power moves. So, but for gosh sakes, please stop looking at those Daytonas. That will short circuit a power move, I say. Let's take another look at that stunning diver. Look at that diver. That is absolutely stunning. Let's look at the side view again. There we're looking at the case view, side view on it. And Clive has ADD. He's flipping all over on that website. Can't you find the watch, hone in on a 40 mil day date?
I'm looking at it. It's not exactly the easiest one. I'm just going to look at everything that is gold.
Yeah. After all, we're talking about power watches here. Can't get a steel watch does not make the grade. It's not a power watch.
What about a Cellini in gold? Or a Cellini?
What's that date just for 11/2/50? You've already got something that's close to that.
I don't have it on a bracelet.
I just said
That
close.
is-
I mean,
Now that is called, yeah, that is called the Vice President.
now, that is a 5-digit, but I think it has solid end links because it's a gold watch. Click on the picture that shows the back side of it. Yeah, looks like those are solid end links. Now, the center links, I think, are hollow. But wait a minute, that's a woman's watch, isn't it?
No. I don't no.
Look at the size of it. Go down and look at the size. I think it's a woman's watch. No, it's a 36 mil. Okay, it's men's.
Yep.
That is cool. That's not that bad a price either. It's not great. You can actually buy a day date for that.
Okay, I'm getting a call from work. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay, take it, because I got a possible call that might come in too. So we'll switch to me here temporarily while Clive takes care of business. Meanwhile, excuse me. Oh boy, yawning. I got to take a look here at the comments. Craig, what's your honest? Oh, let's see. 116520 is the best bargain right now. Personally, love my black dial. Craig, what's your honest opinion on Seiko's under $1,000? I would get the SBDC 007. SBDC 007. That's the Shogun diver for that price range. That's the one I would get. Full stop. That's a great watch. A steel Daytona for almost at retail is a serious harbinger. Yeah, I think some people are going to get burned. I have a Rolex Gold Sky-Dweller. It's a power watch, chocolate dial. Well, there you go. Absolutely, that is.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's
I'm
all
back.
gold. Yep. All right. I'm just going through the comments real quick, and then.
But the trouble is, though, a Datejust. I mean, and like I said, I actually there's an old one of the team leader DAs, one of the older guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's right below like first assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad's a very successful civil lawyer, and he's got one of these. You realize the Datejust on the Gold Jubilee is called the Vice President, right?
I've heard people say that, but you know, the first president that wore one of these watches, that's what he was wearing, wasn't it? Eisenhower.
Yep.
I think he was wearing a Datejust. So I don't know why they would say vice president. He was a president, but that's a nice watch, but that's going to have potential bracelet stretch issues. Correct?
Okay, now let's. Oh God, no! They've got this one pimped the hell out. No. You know, I like the chocolate dial on this one, but I'm not that fond of the.
Can you screen share? We can't see it.
Okay, let me. Oh God, no! It's got the 4. I mean, it's got the 6 in diamonds. No. Forget it. I will do you a favor and not screen share that one.
Okay, so here's somebody says, Craig, be honest. First of all, you don't have to say that because I'm always going to be honest with you, brutally honest, okay? Can any watch with the letters Seiko etched on its dial ever be a power watch? I think some of the solid gold Grand Seikos could be classified as a power watch, but you know, there aren't that many. They don't make that many that are all gold, especially that have a gold bracelet. So it would be tricky. It would be tricky. You should get a power tutor, Craig. That is funny. Start to sound like a beta male, whatever that means. I'm wearing my pheasant watch as we speak.
That's a man who hasn't really upgraded to VHS yet.
Okay. I've heard 30-year-olds saying the Daytona dials are nearly illegible. You fellas don't stand a chance. Well, yeah, I wouldn't buy one. I wouldn't buy one for, there's about a whole list of reasons. The list is long as to why I would not buy one of those watches. I can't get it. I don't get why everybody gives a rat's rear end. I saw Paul Newman at the racetrack with it. I took a picture of him with it, and it was an okay watch, but, you know, the watch I was wearing was better. I was wearing a Day-Date at the time. So I was actually probably wearing the GMT2 at the time. Okay, stainless steel Patek chronograph is a bully of a power watch. Yeah, but I wouldn't buy the chronograph if I was buying a Patek. There's other watches I would buy. I'd buy that one we looked at the other day. It's on sale, by the way, Clive. The one we looked at. The one with the gold bracelet, the Patek. Remember,
at Gilberg?
Yeah, it was 30-something. No, I think it's on the watch box. It was 30-something. I think it's... Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. They're the same. I think somebody said it was on sale for like 27, 28 grand. Remember I said I saw it at that price?
Yeah.
I think they've done it again. Let's see here. Muzi says, hugs and kisses to Clivers. There you go. You got a fan. Craig, why the Day-Date over the newer styles? Why the Day-Date over the newer styles? I don't know what you mean. We're talking about a Day-Date 40. You can't get much newer than that. That's current watch. Is Don Haynes coming on the show?
No.
Only if Craig is serving meatloaf. Did Mark ever call Craig to ask him out? I don't think so. Glad to hear Clive is consolidating his collection. Well, Clive is thinking about making a power move. The Rolex Cellini Prince solid gold is a great choice and great value. Well, there you go. I have 6,800 for a limited steel GS, and while I love it, there's a lot of criticism about the piece. You think it's worth it? I do love it. Okay, which limited edition GS?
Because and again, here's this. Is this the one? The man. Trouble is, I'm trying to figure out how polished the bracelet is.
Paul Newman didn't give a rat's ass about his watch. He gave it to his daughter's boyfriend. One man's trash, another man's treasure. Well, yeah, but it wasn't, you know, famous then because he was still alive and nobody really cared, right? I mean, yeah, that happens with all these things. I'm telling you, people that are affluent, when they buy these watches, they're just buying a watch. It's no big deal to them. And it shouldn't be.
What do you think about this this one, for 16,235?
Well, I mean, that's a 6-digit. That's an 18,238, basically, with the extra one. That's the one. Now, check the year on it. Check the clasp. See if it has the updated clasp. That came out in about 2004 or so. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe on the side view of the bracelet, maybe we can tell.
I think I might have it on the ear. Approximate age 2000.
Yeah, no, that's got the older style swing arms.
Yeah, circa 2000 P serial number.
That's the early one. They came out about the middle of the year 2000, and then they changed the clasp in about 2004 or so.
Oh, I'd need an extra inch of extra links. That'd be cheap.
Yeah, you want to get one box and papers with all the links that came with it. Craig, Archie has claimed that older ladies take care of him in return for his company. You have made the same claim, have you not? Well, yeah, the women paid up big time. You think I'm going to spend my time with these extremely attractive women and not have them pay? Come on. I mean, I'm talking big bucks. You gotta pay to play. Pay to play around here. Especially if they're stunners. Okay. If they believe all that, I got a bridge for them too. Let's see, newer styles like the Sky-Dweller. Oh, yeah, the Sky-Dweller's okay. Doesn't pop my clutch. Selling a piece of fine art and buying a GS titanium diver and blue Milgauss. I don't know why you need both of those. I've heard that the Daytona was considered the dog of Rolex sport range in the 70s compared to El Primero. Well, it still is kind of the dog. I mean, it's just because people are paying a ton of money for them doesn't make it a great watch. It's got a decent case design. It's got a better case design than that ugly Maxi case or whatever the hell they're calling that bloated eyesore of a case that's on the sub. Craig, what do you think about who do you think can hula hoop longer, you, Clives, or Gampers? I don't know. The rest of the U.S. only limited steel with blue face. Yeah, that's a good-looking watch. That I would still try to wrangle a discount, especially since we got the Wrangler in the house. I would work on about a 10% discount on that watch because it is a limited edition, and they are getting kind of scarce. But I'd still get at least 10 off. Power Watch Patek annual perpetual calendar. Yeah, I would pass on that. I saw the two beautiful presidents today, one with green dial and another one in rose gold. Both were stunners. Extremely attractive AARP members. I guess that'd be us.
Probably. Well, I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah. Love the Sky-Dweller. Riddle me the Batman. I know a broke, overweight, middle-aged dude with a Power Watch, Patek World Time, and yellow gold. Well, does he still have that watch?
Surprisingly enough, yes.
Okay. Craig ain't a player. He just crushes a lot, whatever that means.
It's complimentary.
Okay. Is Clivers buying the Ferrari watch for $300K?
No.
Chip Wong, Craig is Blue Velvet's 2018 top earner. There you go. A year ago, YouTubers
The secret is the hair.
There you go. A year ago, YouTubers were telling us box and papers made very little difference to the price. Now they are saying it adds 20% to the price.
Okay, let me address this. Mm-hmm. And yeah, because guess what? They were right back then. Because the higher the price of a watch, the higher the expectations. You know, it used to be you could go and get a Submariner for like 35, 45, or 50. You know, when you're looking at like a sports watch, mm-hmm. 5,000 or below, box and papers, and you know, especially the older ones, they weren't expected because they weren't really meant. They weren't really luxury watches. They were tool watches.
Yeah.
I mean, but now, and they weren't. And if you look at some of the older, I'd show you an earlier Rolex box, mm-hmm. but I can't because I kind of don't have any right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But they're not really meant to. They don't really hold the paperwork. They don't hold the booklets. They don't hold the paper. So
they got separated.
Yeah.
Do you watch?
Kind of like Archie and Spider Bite.
They're asking me, do you watch any of the millennial channels like TGV and Theo and Harris? I've watched some of Theo and Harris's stuff. I've watched some of that if you're asking me, but not a lot. Some of it gets suggested on YouTube when I'm watching something, and I'll watch some of it.
Now I watched that, and to me, it looks like Anna is really crushing hard on Christian, and Christian is oblivious to her.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it looks like she is like hanging on every word. She's either like the best employee in the history of employee relations, because she's like literally listening every word, staring intently, like it's the voice of God.
Yep.
And he's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Draw your own assumptions.
Yeah.
She also flicks her hair a lot when she talks to him.
There you go. Blue Milgauss is gorgeous. I'm wearing mine now. Yep, I think it's a good watch. Clive should get a Patek dress watch. Royal Oak. No Royal Oak. Come on, people. And no overseas. None of that. None of the ugly watches. That life is too short for Clive to be wearing an ugly watch. I love any yellow gold with green face and a Rolex.
Now, there's a Calatrava here locally. And it's 35. It's a little bit small. It's a 35 millimeter. It's got an officer's case back.
That might be a little small for you.
Tiny bit.
Leonidas vintage watch. Leonidas. Clive, do you still have that?
The Leonidas.
Yeah.
You've heard of Leonidas, right?
No, I don't know what they are.
Have you ever heard of Leonidas, like the king of Sparta?
Yeah, but I don't know anything about these watches.
Okay. All right. Now I've got another client calling in. Hold on.
Take it. Take it. Take the money. Take the money. You're going to need the money for a power play. Clive is going to be making a power play here pretty soon. It might be for a date 840. Papers are important. Box, not so much. I would have rated your show 9.5 out of 10. Clive brings it up to 15. Thanks so much. Well, there you go. Wow. Isn't that something? Bud Dastard. Yes, that's a stunner. Whatever. Anna is great. Roman, Sherfin, Bill, Sanders are new gurus. Okay. She worships him. I'm not exaggerating. Okay, good. You're spot on about Anna. Yeah, I would imagine. Clive is an observer. He is a trained observer, being a highly paid attorney. He has to be able to observe these things and read people.
Okay, sorry about that. Say again, what?
They just said in the comments that you're all that. I have the U.S. Limited GS in steel, a Hulk, a Rose Sky-Dweller, all pretty new. My oldest watch is a 96 steel and gold tapestry date 8. What? What is that? Date 8 never made anything in steel and gold. You're talking about a Rolex date 8? I don't know what you're talking about there. I guess I feel like I'm missing a yellow gold. Yeah, I would sell the Hulk for sure. And depending on what you're talking about, 96 steel and gold tapestry, whatever that is, I would probably get rid of that and go ahead and get yourself a date 8. Let's see, you have a rose. Is that all rose gold Sky-Dweller? All gold? In which case, I'd probably just stay with that. And I mean, I don't hate on rose gold. I just wouldn't be my choice. How is a Royal Oak ugly? Chip, if you don't know, I can't help you with that. It's just an ugly watch, okay? The Royal Oak is as timeless as a Submariner GMT. Well, the new maxi case on the Sub is ugly too. So is the case on the new GMT. I wouldn't buy either one of them either. But that's just me. I like attractive watches. Craig, which channel is your favorite? Armand the Watch Guy, Blog to Watch. I like the stuff that Tim does, and Tim kind of tells the truth a lot of times. You got to read between the lines a little bit sometimes. Like he'll talk about the nice shape on the case on a Daytona, and he'll kind of contrast that to the maxi case. He won't come out and say that the maxi case is ugly, but he'll give you enough telegraphing to where you should be able to figure that out. Royal Oak looks like a New York sewer cover. Mark Goldberg bought a Sky-Dweller. Yeah, I saw that, steel and gold. I've never seen that watch before. It's weird design. I wonder how they can rotate that gold bezel and not have that be a a weakness for water getting in. I don't understand how all that could work. Yes, all Rolls Gold Sky-Dweller with chocolate face. Yeah, but I wouldn't sell that at a loss just to move into a yellow gold watch. I'd be happy with what you have. But if you can get out of it and get your money out of it and then get into something yellow gold like a Date 8 or something, I think that'd be a nice power move. What happened to Tanzil Ansari, whatever that is? I'm not sure what that means. TGV fan, T97. Who is Tim? Yeah, from the Watchbox, yes. He's the one that does those videos every day, for gosh sakes. If you haven't watched his videos, he does a great job on those videos. He's got a light box or something. Nice photography work. Craig, please. I don't know what you mean. Steve does not bringing any of the new yellow gold Seamasters. What was he smoking? He might not have any of the yellow gold ones yet. I said he had like 10 watches still to come in on his initial order. So maybe some of those are the gold stunners. If he had some gold stunners, he'd have probably brought them. Tim Moso, yes, Watchbox, okay. He can't super chat on all channels, whatever that means. He impresses me for such a young person. He's been missing on Archie's channel as well. Okay.
Tanzil?
Not sure who they're talking about. They're mentioning a bunch of people in here.
Bastards.
At Ryan must have gone broke, whoever that is. Scott S.J., yes, he does a great job. Now, why is that still in your possession?
Tim Masso basically said, hold, hold, hold.
Yeah. Get out while you can, I say.
It's a birth year watch.
Liquidate. Can you get a premium for it?
Oh, yeah.
Liquidate. Trust me, you'll be happy when you have that Date 840 on your wrist. It's a life-changing experience.
Yeah, I might have to. It's not Tuesday. I might have to wear it. Hell with it. Do. Well, oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, boy. I'm yawning a lot. Connection lost.
All right. 5:42. Oh, that's what's kind of the nice things about a no date. Really, really easy just to set and get.
Absolutely. If it's an occasional watch, that's what you want. You want manual wine and no date.
Oh, you mean like this?
Yep. I mean, it's an attractive watch, but in your station in life, I think a Date 840 with a black dial.
Well, you know, I could make a little bit off of it.
What does your AD say? How optimistic is he that he's going to be able to liquidate some items?
Not my AD. He's actually quite confident about it. Especially the Rolex.
He's got more than one, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
How many Rolexes did you consign to him?
5, 6, something like that.
So we're going to cut to the spring driver here real quick, just get an update on that. I went to the trouble of setting up another table with the watch on the separate table so that if I wiggle this table, it doesn't move the watch. How's that? So I went to that kind of trouble. I also put a second camera angle on it showing the side view so I can switch to that and see you guys see the lugs. And you see what I mean? How that case, how it's shaped and how the lugs are shaped? You
Right.
compare that to a maxi case on a sub and there's just like night and day difference. Night and day. You know what else I actually wore for a short period of time today, Clive?
What's that?
The Apple Watch. The Apple Watch with the link bracelet. Do you have the link bracelet?
Yeah. I definitely need to take. Well, then again, you know, actually these old ones stretch a little. I mean, actually have a little give to them, but I think it's a little
loose.
A little bit. Need to have it taken in.
Well, there you go. You lost weight. It's all that. I don't know why I'm yawning. It's all that jogging you've been doing. Okay, so what's the deal here? How many of these stunners, these steel stunners, do you have to sell before you're going to make the power move?
Well, like I said, you know, I did sell a few on your channel.
That's good. We always like to help out. There you go. We always like to help out.
I appreciate that.
So that's the whole topic of this show is the power watch, the power move. And you're making a move here. Clearly you're making a move. So what's the prognosis?
Let me put it this way. Especially if they move the and like I said, I haven't even thought about my chronographs. Do you guys want to see some chronographs or not? See if they do.
Yeah, anything you got that you're liquidating. If this is part of a power move, then this is part of the subject matter of this show is making a power move. And if that means liquidating some chronographs to get a pile of cash so that you can make a power move, then I say show them. What series is your Apple Watch? It's the first one. Let's see. All right, I better read some of these comments here real quick while you figure out what you're going to sell. Let's see. Tapestry face on my 96 Rolex Datejust two-tone seems to be very common. That in my Hawk of GS for President in yellow. Any move you can make to get into a Date 8 and yellow gold, I think is a good move. I will bless that. Have you seen that Coke GMT Master 2 Sophia Loren? Yes, I saw that. It looked nice. It had a service dial on it, which wouldn't be a deal killer for me if I was buying it to keep. Not my Sky. I'm keeping that. The Sky-Dweller. Okay. Take Tim advice on the Speedmaster, Clive. We're trying to get Clive to make a power move here, folks. That doesn't include holding steel stunners. Steel stunners sometimes have to go in order to make a power move, especially when it's
Craig. They are going. They don't have to necessarily go all at once.
Yeah, especially when it's the top of the market. So Craig thinks the GS is better.
No. Let me also go back to this. This is an Omega 321. If I was going to flip this, I wouldn't do it right now. I would let Omega pump everyone up about the 321. The more people talk about the 321, the more the public awareness goes up with it, the more the value of the watch will go up. Though I don't think it's done yet.
Or they're going to flood the market with that new one and nobody's going to want the old one.
Not instantly. Not instantly. They're not quite that stupid.
They're pretty stupid.
They're pretty stupid, but they will limited edition the shit out of it first.
Yeah, they have a track record of being kind of on the stupid side, just like Grand Seiko. Those two could run neck and neck in the contest for having the lousiest marketing in the watch business, I think. Okay, and brand building. So Craig thinks the GS is better than a BLNR or 15300. Well, I mean, my GS Diver is better pretty much than any Rolex sport watch. Yeah, I mean, it's higher quality. It's got a better movement. It's more affordable. That's a plus, too. So, yeah, it's got a lot of check boxes over any of those others. Date 840 is a serious watch. Yes. Date 840 is the kryptonite of watches. Okay. Yes, Clivers. Where is Tanzil or whatever that is? Okay. When he comes back, he can address that. GMT watches are a whatever to set if you're using it as an occasional watch. I didn't have much trouble setting mine, but it wasn't really that occasional. Yeah, I was wearing it pretty much all the time when it was in my rotation. So, yeah, I just don't recall having much problem with it. Date 840 is like a Maybach. Might make more sense to go all out and get a Bentley. No, not really, because the Date 840 is bulletproof reliable, whereas a Maybach, you're going to have maintenance issues on that puppy. That's not going to be an easy one to keep on the road. So it's more like almost like a Lexus. It's Date 840 is bulletproof reliable. So there's that. Yeah, I would definitely buy that over the Patek or AP. You got a much better watch with the Date 840. Hey, sometimes you just have to buy the better watch, folks. Don't listen to these watch gurus who are clueless and have no idea about a daily wear watch. Buy a watch that you can wear every day and enjoy and not have to baby. You can dive in the pool. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with a Date 840. You are not going to hurt that watch. Trust me, you're not going to hurt it. That thing is bulletproof reliable and durable. And less likely to scratch than a steel Rolex. Did you know that, Clive? The Date 8 is actually less likely to scratch than a steel Rolex. Because of the design of the bracelet. The way the President bracelet is designed, the way that each one's rounded, even when you are on the desk and all that, which normally will scratch the hell out of a sport watch, a Rolex, the Date 8's fine. Doesn't bother it. It's fine. It just gets like a patina sort of, and it just looks gorgeous. Whereas the steel watch looks all scratched up. Take it from somebody who wore one on a daily basis for 40 freaking years, about 4 different watches over that time span. Okay. A Chip is probably correct about liquidating. The problem is Clive and the rest of us have an illness. Great show tonight, fellows. Yeah, but sometimes you got to make a move. Sometimes you got to make a power move, and that's what Clive's doing. And I respect that, and I laud him for doing that. What series is your Apple Watch? I already answered that. Series 1. I think that Clive should buy a classy Lange. No Lange. We're getting some yeses and some ones in here. What did somebody ask? What are they putting ones in here for?
Well, that kind of has to do with Don Haynes, like throw the bum off, more or less.
Okay.
See, we're on the Archie cast, and Mark Goldberg's like, if you want Don tossed off the program, type 1. That's
well, how come they're putting ones in here, though?
Maybe they want to throw me off. Guys, if you want Craig to throw me off, super chat him $10.
No, they said that they loved you and they wanted you in here all the time. So unless they're like schizophrenic.
I'm actually selling both the Zeniths.
Yes, somebody said, yes, Grand Seiko is more superior than Rolex. It's just a better made watch. It's a higher quality watch. I mean, anybody that looks at them side by side, if they got a half a brain, are going to come to that conclusion. The Rolex is a high quality, machine made, mass produced watch. The Grand Seiko is a handmade, extremely high quality watch. They're 2 different animals. Craig likes the GS in the under 10K range. When it comes to power watch, he's talking Rolex. Date 840, man. What do you think, Clive? I'm cutting to you. What do you think? Date 840 could that be the ultimate power watch?
You're not the only person telling me that. I'll put it that way. It seems like everyone is saying the Date 840.
Because think about it. You can wear it in any circumstance. That's a rugged watch. Remember, that's an oyster case. That's, you know, it's good to go. I mean, I don't see an issue. It's just as anti-magnetic as a lot of the other watches. It's just as rugged, the movement. You can't say that about a lot of these other wannabe power watches. Right?
Right.
And look at the design of that President bracelet. It is just freaking gorgeous. Can you bring it up again? Can you bring up a date?
I'm not.
Okay, take your time.
I said I'm not.
You're not going to bring it up. Okay.
No.
All right, I'll bring it up on my screen here, folks, and I'll show you. I will show you. That is absolutely stunning. That's the only picture of that particular one. So, let's see what else, and then we're going to wrap here pretty soon. Yes to seeing Clyde's watches.
Horrid. Absolutely horrid.
And somebody doesn't like the Apple Watch. Show us the goods, Clivers. If you guys want to buy something he has, let him know and he'll show it. But don't just be jerking the guy's chain. Get ready to do a friends and family PayPal, for God's sakes.
Actually, do you want to do something later on this weekend, and we'll go into that in detail?
We can. You don't want to do it right now?
No, actually, I'm going to probably grab. It's dinner time here, so.
Okay. Zenith is terminal. Better off buying Bitcoin. The maxi case is for the modern man, not old crusties. It's ugly, Gary. I don't care how modern you think it is. It's not an attractive case. What about an all-gold GMT Master 2? Yeah, pre-ceramic, but we've debated that back and forth, up one side and down the other. I think the 40 mil date 8 is a better option. Do you think we may finally see a Submariner in rose gold? That's for you, Clive. Apparently, the new 321 is not going to be in the 50th anniversary model, according to someone in the know. Rose gold Sky scratches easily. Yeah, if you don't have the President bracelet, are you talking about that bracelet is scratching? Because the oyster bracelets in gold will scratch with that center polished area and all, especially. It's not the same design. I fell in love with the day dates after watching the movie Weekend at Bernie's. Okay. Jubilee band and any Rolex scratches less than others. Yeah, the Jubilee's going to hold up good too, for that same reason, because of the way it's curved. Only a very small part touches because of the curve. They were smart when they designed those bracelets, folks. Rolex movements are all hand assembled and tested. Don't know where you guys get. Yeah, right. They don't have enough people, folks. They do too much. When you do 600,000 watches a year, you can't hand make them. There might be some hand actions they do, but they're mostly machine made. Lovely, the maxi case. Want the Sky-Dweller. Might top all of them. Always enjoy you, Craig. Thanks. Good stuff. I'll watch the rest later. Clive would look badass in a modern full gold sub, black dial. And maybe he should get both. I mean, that would be the ultimate power move. Thanks again for your time tonight, Craig. Okay, great live. Okay, so that's going to be the end of it. So here's the thing. The ultimate power move might be Clive having both a day-date 40 and an 18-karat gold. I think GMT2, rather than the sub. I think a pre-ceramic GMT2 on a Jubilee, an all gold, that in rotation with a date 40. Talk about a power move.
Not to mention, I still have the Oyster Perpetual.
Yeah.
Subtle and understated.
Absolutely. So get out of the way. I mean, you know, just get out of Clive's way. I think that's a way to wrap it on that. Do you have anything else to say before we do that? Before we wrap this up?
No.
All right. Well, let's keep you posted, and maybe sometime over the weekend we'll do that thing. I've got a video shoot Sunday afternoon. So if it was Sunday, it would have to be later in the afternoon. I mean, you know, 6, 7 o'clock my time. Saturday is more available for me. So if you want to try to do it tomorrow, then that's more available than Sunday. So just let me know. All right, I'm going to wrap the broadcast. Give me 1 second here, Clive, and I'll wrap this broadcast. And hey, make sure you subscribe and click the little bell there. And I got to hit this little button here. And hey, Cowgirls Live Monday night at 10. Monday night at 10 p.m., Cowgirls Live. Complete event.